Chapter 1. Superhero Kid was just an ordinary kid until one day, something extraordinary happened. He was walking home from school when he suddenly felt a strange energy coursing through his body. At first, he thought it was just a weird sensation, but then he realized that he had gained superhuman abilities. He started to run, and before he knew it, he was moving faster than he ever had before. He could hear the wind whistling past his ears and feel the rush of air on his face. He laughed out loud, exhilarated by the sheer joy of his newfound powers. Superhero Kid continued to experiment with his abilities, jumping high and far, lifting heavy objects with ease, and even hovering in the air for a few seconds at a time. He was amazed by what he could do and couldn't wait to try out his powers on a real mission. As he walked home, he thought about how he could use his powers for good. He had always been fascinated by superheroes and their incredible abilities, and now he was one of them. He knew that he had a responsibility to help others and protect his city from danger. When he arrived home, he went straight to his room and opened his closet. There, hidden behind his clothes, was a red and blue superhero costume that he had made himself. He put it on and looked at himself in the mirror. He felt like a real superhero. Superhero Kid knew that he couldn't tell anyone about his powers or his secret identity. He didn't want to put his family or friends in danger. But he was excited to start his superhero career and make a difference in the world. He had no idea what kind of adventures lay ahead, but he was ready to face them head-on, with his powers and his bravery. Chapter 2. Superhero Kid and his best friend, sidekick friend, were playing in the park one day when they stumbled upon a strange object hidden in the bushes. It was a small device with a blinking red light on it, and it looked like it was some sort of explosive. Superhero Kid and sidekick friend knew that they had to act quickly to prevent any harm from coming to the people of their city. They carefully picked up the device and took it to the police station. The police were grateful for their help and launched an investigation into the source of the device. It wasn't long before they discovered that it was part of a much larger and more sinister plan. A notorious villain known as the Mastermind was behind the plot to destroy the city. He had created a network of explosive devices, hidden in various locations throughout the city, all set to go off at the same time. Superhero Kid and sidekick friend knew that they had to stop the Mastermind and his evil plan. They put on their superhero costumes and set out to find him. Using their superhuman abilities, they searched high and low, following any leads they could find. Finally, they discovered the Mastermind's secret lair, hidden deep in the soils beneath the city. The two superheroes carefully snuck into the lair, avoiding the traps and alarms that had been set up to protect it. They found the Mastermind, cackling with glee as he watched the countdown on a screen that showed the time until the explosives would detonate. Superhero Kid and sidekick friend sprang into action, using their powers to take down the Mastermind's henchmen and disarm the explosives. The Mastermind tried to stop them, but he was no match for their superhero skills. In the end, Superhero Kid and sidekick friend saved the city from destruction, and the Mastermind was taken into custody by the police. The people of the city hailed them as heroes, and Superhero Kid knew that this was just the beginning of his adventures as a superhero. Chapter 3. Superhero Kid was flying over the city when he saw a group of robbers attempting to break into the city hall. He knew that he had to act quickly to stop them. He swooped down and landed in front of the robbers, who were shocked to see a superhero standing before them. They tried to attack him, but Superhero Kid was too fast for them. With his superhuman strength, he easily overpowered them and tied them up with rope. As he was securing the robbers, he heard a voice behind him. It was the mayor of the city, thanking him for his bravery and asking him to come to City Hall to receive a special award. Superhero Kid was honored, and he accepted the invitation. He arrived at City Hall, where he was greeted by a large crowd of people who had gathered to see him. The mayor presented him with a Medal of Honor and thanked him for his service to the city. Just as the ceremony was ending, a villainous figure burst into the room. It was the Shadow, a notorious criminal who had been terrorizing the city for years. The Shadow declared that he was going to take over the city and challenged Superhero Kid to a fight. Superhero Kid knew that he had to protect the people of the city, so he accepted the challenge. The two superheroes clashed in an epic battle, their superhuman abilities on full display as they exchanged blows. The fight was intense, with each hero trying to gain the upper hand. In the end, Superhero Kid emerged victorious, thanks to his quick thinking and superior strategy. The Shadow was defeated, and he was taken into custody by the police. The people of the city cheered for Superhero Kid, who had once again saved the day. And Superhero Kid knew that he would always be ready to defend the city against any threat, no matter how great or small. Chapter 4. Superhero Kid was enjoying a day off when he received a message from his friend at the local tech company. The message explained that their new invention, a device that could produce unlimited clean energy, had been stolen. Superhero Kid knew that he had to help his friend, so he rushed to the tech company's headquarters. There, he found that the security cameras had been disabled and the lab where the device was kept had been broken into. Using his superhuman senses, Superhero Kid was able to pick up a trail left by the thieves. He followed the trail to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Inside the warehouse, he found a group of masked criminals, including some of the most notorious villains in the city, using the stolen device to power their weapons and machines. Superhero Kid knew that he had to stop them, so he charged into the fray. The battle was intense, with the villains using their advanced technology to fight back against Superhero Kid's superhuman abilities. Despite their best efforts, Superhero Kid was able to overcome the villains and retrieve the stolen device. He returned it to the tech company, where it could be used for its intended purpose of providing clean energy to the city. But as he was leaving the tech company, Superhero Kid noticed something strange. There was a small device attached to the back of his suit, one that he had never seen before. He immediately knew that the villains had planted it on him during the battle. He quickly analyzed the device and discovered that it was a tracking device, one that could be used to locate him wherever he went. Superhero Kid knew that he had to act fast. He used his superhuman speed to rush to the villains' hideout and surprise them. He was able to retrieve the device that they were using to track him and destroy it. With the villains defeated and the stolen technology recovered, Superhero Kid once again saved the day. And he knew that he would always be ready to protect the city against any threat, no matter how insidious. Chapter 5. Superhero Kid had been saving the city from villains and disasters for months now, but no one knew who he really was. He kept his identity a secret, not wanting to put his loved ones in danger. But one day, disaster struck. A powerful supervillain, known as the Crusher, appeared in the city and started wreaking havoc. He was too powerful for Superhero Kid to defeat alone, so he reached out to some of his superhero friends for help. Together, they worked tirelessly to stop the Crusher and save the city. They were successful, but in the chaos of the battle, Superhero Kid's mask was ripped off, revealing his true identity to the world. At first, Superhero Kid was terrified. He didn't know how people would react to him now that they knew who he was. But to his surprise, the people of the city embraced him as a hero. They cheered for him in the streets and thanked him for his bravery. Even his friends and family were proud of him for being a superhero. Superhero Kid realized that he didn't have to be afraid of his true identity anymore. He could be both a superhero and a regular kid, and people would still accept him for who he was. With a newfound confidence, Superhero Kid continued to protect the city from danger, knowing that he had the support of the people behind him. Chapter 6. Superhero Kid and his best friend, Alex, had been inseparable since they were little. They did everything together, including fighting crime as a dynamic duo. But one day, a new supervillain appeared in the city, and he had a plan to separate Superhero Kid from his friend. The villain, known as the Puppet Master, used his mind control powers to turn Alex against Superhero Kid. Alex was now under the Puppet Master's control, and he started causing chaos in the city alongside the villain. Superhero Kid was heartbroken, not only because he lost his best friend but also because he knew that Alex was being forced to do these things against his will. Determined to save his friend and stop the puppet master, Superhero Kid faced his biggest challenge yet. He had to find a way to break Alex's mind control and defeat the puppet master without hurting his friend. After several attempts, Superhero Kid finally found a way to break the mind control and free Alex. Together, they were able to defeat the puppet master and save the city once again. With the crisis averted, Superhero Kid and Alex reconciled, realizing that their friendship was stronger than any villains.